Hello, Redbird Language Arts and Writing teachers. I am Cassandra Copy, a curriculum specialist with McGraw-Hill, and we wanted to provide you with a very brief overview of the Redbird online capabilities. Now, if you've already been using Redbird, you're probably aware of all this, but some of you may be jumping into this right now to be able to provide that language, grammar, and writing instruction to your students. Redbird Language Arts and Writing is all online. It is an adaptive program that provides instruction, practice, and review. So this will definitely be an asset for your students as they're continuing their education from home. So the first page that I am on right now is my.mheducation.com main page, and I'm logged into my account. You may log into your McGraw-Hill education accounts through your district portal, or you may go directly to my.mheducation.com. From there, you'll want to go to the Open Learning site, which is the page that I'm on right now. If it takes you to the Connect Ed site, I'll just go there very quickly. I want to show you how to get to the Open Learning site where our Redbird content is. So if it takes you to Connect Ed, just click on my.mheducation.com on the right-hand side, and you will get to the Open Learning site where you will have access to your Redbird content. If you're creating a class, it is very simple. You just go to Create Class, you're going to choose the Redbird content, and then follow the prompts. If you're adding students to the class, once you've created the class, on the bottom right, you click right here and go to Manage Class Roster. And then you would, once this launches, there we go, then you would search for students by name that would already hopefully be in your database. Potentially you're not going to be doing all those things. Those will already be done for you, but I wanted to show you that briefly. If you need more detail around that, there is support on the McGraw-Hill site. Okay. I want to get into Redbird Language Arts and Writing though, and show you just very briefly the specific reports that I think that you should be looking at during this time. So to access your teacher site, just click Launch, and that will load the Redbird Teacher online portion. Once I launch that site, here we go, you're going to see your student roster on the left-hand side of the page. The numbers next to the students are the levels of the content that they're accessing. And from this page, really what you're going to be using is the class reports. Once you click on class reports, you'll see all of the various reports on the top of the page. The one that you're going to be using the most is the overview report. Something to note is that it displays the current week's data. So if you want to see data from a different range, make sure you put that in here. All reports you can print and export or just simply view online. Let's get into a couple specifics for this overview report. We recommend that students spend about 25 minutes maximum daily on Redbird. That takes us to about 60 to 90 minutes per week. This is going to show you two data points. Number one, you can see the color. That's if they're meeting the expectation of 60 to 90 minutes. And number two, you'll see the actual number. So looking at minutes here. For correct first attempts, same concept. You'll see two data points. In this, we recommend that students are between 65 to 75% for their correct first attempts. So that's in their practice. Are they getting it correct right away? Does it take them a little bit of time, or are they not getting it correct at all? Okay, so this person is at 63%, and you see now that the color is orange because that's right below the expectation. As we continue on, the lesson pace should be about 2 lessons per week. And then we'll see what the student has actually completed. On the activity breakdown, you can hover over that and you'll see the amount of time spent for these activities, and the colors correspond to the activities right up here. For the current location, I just got started on this one, but that'll show up in just a minute. But you'll see the breakdown for the current location. The student is at the second grade level content, and then what they've completed, that is proficient, not proficient, or again at their current level. This is the overview report, which again, I think that you'll be spending most of your time on. The other report that I want to show you is the student report. And you can get to that by clicking on the student's name. that will take you to both an overview just for the student, but then the student snapshot. And this is where we will have a little bit more specific data. And this is also where we can provide our parents with a unique URL to access the student information. So if we click on Snapshot, that's going to launch a separate page. Now you can't see that I have that kind of grayed out in my recording, but this will actually open up a unique URL for this individual student snapshot. So you can provide this to parents or guardians so that they can monitor the student progress at home. Students also have access to this on their own site. So parents can obviously ask the students to show them the student snapshot as well. On this page, we have two different things that we're going to look at. Over here on the calendar, when the student has worked on the program, it's going to show up in orange. It's going to tell exactly what the student has done on that date range. I'm going to close that for now and let's focus on this student snapshot piece. What we're looking at is exactly what the student has accomplished. So this is the practice. These are the different practice items that they've completed. Green means it was correct on their first attempt. Light green means correct on their second attempt. Red means that it was incorrect on the second attempt. Blue is instruction, and it mentions that right below. And then the purple is a game that the student has accessed. The really nice feature on this student snapshot is that we can launch a report of exactly what the student has done. It's an actual replay. So I'm going to do that for this item set because the student got this one wrong. When I click on that item set, I see exactly what the student did online. So this one in particular, they're typing out sentences. You can see what they have typed. This gives us some really great insight into student understanding. To move from one item to the next, we can just click on the top of the screen here on the boxes. And I can also turn the replay off and make this a live item set to practice. Now, this may be a great feature for parents because they can see what the student has accomplished, and then they can go in and potentially help the student with some certain skills if they're capable of doing that. All right, I'm going to go back to the main page here and to our class reports. Now I can just get back to there by looking at my student page, going to the class reports. Please feel free to dive into these other ones as well. But as of right now, I'd really just recommend looking at that overview and the student snapshot as your students are getting started. We know that this is a very tumultuous time, but hopefully we are able to provide some support and online learning through our Redbird platform.